Is Michael Venom Page due to sign for the UFC? Because Dana, in that post-fight press conference, said we would like to sign him. And he also said Michael Venom Page would like to join the UFC. So he was very tight-lipped. Okay, could this week be the week? Now, there's a lot of questions to come from this. Is it the right time for Michael Venom Page to make the move? 2 reasons, yes and no. I can see why. Yes would be, well, he's only got 2 losses on his record. Pretty impressive still. He's flashy with devastating knockouts on his resume. He's headline events in London. They've seen the London crowd. They know what we're all about. They need plenty of options to potentially headline fight nights. So Michael Venom Page would be an option. He is coming off of a win, which is a good sign, of course. Who wants to, signing someone off of a loss is not that great. And he has talked about previously, a while back, about joining the UFC, even though he was signed to Bellator. Now, the reasons why this isn't a good idea is, at the moment, there's not much hype around him. We've seen him fall against wrestlers. That was 2 fights ago. So that's not great, especially in the top echelon of the welterweight division. He's 36 years old now, so maybe if you're the UFC, you'll only get a few fights out of him, perhaps. I've been wanting to see Michael Venom Page in the UFC for so long. It's got to be nearly 10 years, right? His peak was when he crushed Cyborg's skull, right? That was peak Michael Venom Page. If we got him in the UFC then, woo, mate. And who was kicking around at the time? Conor McGregor. We'd be flying. What do you guys think? Do you think that Michael Venom Page, are you excited about that potential signing? Or are you not really that bothered? I guess the ultimate question next is, which fighter should welcome him to the UFC? Fight fans, I think, will be screaming for a fight with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. However, would that really be an entertaining fight? Because I don't think so. If Wonderboy loses to Shavkat, then I can see that fight being made. But both guys are very similar in their style, and sometimes when people are very similar and they're very technical strikers, it does become a little bit of a chess match on the feet. I think it would be a fight night headliner, but I gotta tell you now, it wouldn't be entertaining to watch. They could pair him up with Jeff Neal, of course, who's not been booked. We previously mentioned earlier, he's in at number 8. I think Jeff Neal would be a good one for Michael Venom Page. Jeff Neal is a little bit of an underrated striker. He's a very good striker, but against MVP, who's very tall, very long, I can see Jeff Neal having problems. He did against Wonderboy as well. So that would be a good fight for Venom Page to get himself into the top 10 and create sparks in the welterweight division. Especially, when Hamzat's now moved to middleweight. The UFC's safe option would be Kevin Holland. Do you know what? Kevin Holland, I was talking about this last night. Kevin Holland versus MVP would be phenomenal. It would be so entertaining. There'll be good build up. There'll be a lot of trash talking between the two. But I think that would be a solid fight for both guys. I'd probably edge it to MVP though. I guess the next question is, will we see it this week? Now, the reason why I think we will see it this week is because, one, we don't have a UFC event. The UFC love to stir the pot, especially if someone like Francis Ngannou is making money fighting Tyson Fury this weekend. So, we know what the UFC did when that fight was announced. They decided to announce something big.